There were other reforms in the regarding this debate. I'm looking at two bills right here. One of them is House Bill 1965 by Westerman, the Healthcare Reform Act of 2013, and then another one, House Bill 1255, that dealt with the Medicaid program. And I noticed that there really wasn't that much of a fight in trying to get these bills passed. That it wasn't an effort to introduce it, to really bring them up in the news. There wasn't an effort to amend them onto the bill that produced the private option. It doesn't seem like there was really an effort to fight for this type of reform. I know it was different, and maybe the chair could answer that, because it was. I know one of these bills was in the committee he was on, and I think there's the other bills in the other was chaired by someone else in here. Was there really an effort made to fight for the Medicaid reform, or was the policy just to do nothing? Is a popular phrase.
I wish you'd pull up the bills we passed, because they were substantial, whether it was income verification, Inspector General moving program integrity out of DHS, the list goes on and on and on. I can't speak to why Representative Westerman's bill, I don't believe he ever ran it. You'd have to ask him.
It never ran.
It's hard to fight for a bill that doesn't get ran.
Drug testing for in-home.
Drug testing for in-home providers.
I know there was a lot of good legislation. It's just
outside of DHS.
It doesn't seem like it was even. It could have been at least mentioned during one of the town halls, brought up. I mean, I assume it wasn't run because there wasn't the votes for it. I assume that was the reason why.
We didn't have a majority of that committee. If it's public health committee, we didn't have a majority there. We managed to get some Democrat support on other bills out of public health, but we didn't have a majority of that committee. And that bill didn't get run. I mean, it didn't get run, but it also didn't get really fleshed out until like the last week of the session. I mean, it was, the final days, and it's like we were just running out of time.
Okay.
Alan's got a question he'd like to ask.
No, I want to answer Shirley's question about did they vote their conservative principles. It's an excellent question, and you're one of my dearest supporters. And we could spend a whole nother night with me saying why I voted the other way. But when it comes to conservative principles, there's no question about any legislator that's in this room. It would have been easy without principles for them to have voted the way you wanted them to vote. It was because of their principles that they had to really look at this hard. We came to a very different decision. We agree on much, but we came to a very different. But I assure you, you look at our voting records, at 95% probably of the votes, we're all on the same page. And I actually, on an issue like this, although I'm very fervent on which way I voted, on an issue like this, where people that I respect as much as I do are on the other side, always look back and say, am I right on this one? But there is absolutely no question about the conservative principles of any of us that voted on either side. On our side of the aisle, the other side, we're going to vote for Medicaid expansion regardless. And I really have to blame John, and I'll sit down. If he and Bruce Westerman, who didn't vote for it, but who worked on it, and Jonathan Dismayne and David Sanders had not done such a great job, there would not have been a hard decision to make. And one of the things with me voting against it that was difficult was knowing how hard they worked and how much they got that nobody that knows politics could have ever believed that they could have gotten from the White House. I mean, that's really where it came from. And then for me to be in the background and saying, okay, they negotiated, but we didn't negotiate in good faith, and I'm going to go the other way. So it was a very principle. It was a tough call either way, but principles are not in question.
Thank you, Alan. Thanks, Alan.